far as I'm concerned, that's a proxy for how you perceive things. Where you live and how old you are is a proxy. How you perceive an ad depends on whether you've just fallen in love, how much money you have in your account, the weather, the time of the day, how well your soccer team or cricket team played at the weekend. Understanding that data that helps you build representative audiences is a differentiator. The fourth category is what people called AI 3 years ago, before generative AI. It's machine learning, it's data science. You already know my opinion. Giving human beings better insights doesn't lead to better decisions. The power of machine learning is not actually making predictions. The power of machine learning is explaining those predictions. So if I show you an ad with a black cat, I can accurately predict the clicks and the likes and the sales. But what machine learning can do, if you implement it correctly, it can say, Daniel, if you change that from a black cat to a ginger cat, you're going to get more clicks, likes, and sales because that person likes Garfield. Now, it's a terrible example, but the point is that machine learning can surface insights from data in ways that human beings can't, and we can use those insights to actually then make better decisions. That's the power of machine learning. Now that I can create content very quickly, now that I can test content against audiences, now that I can predict activation, my next challenge is how do I then push that content across channels to maximize my return? This is not a generative AI problem, it's not a machine learning problem, it's an optimization problem. And just to give you an idea about how hard optimization is, imagine if I have 5 pieces of content that I need to allocate to 5 channels. Do you know how many possible solutions are there? Do you know? 5 times 4 times 3 times 5 factorial, exclamation mark, we learned in school. So there's 120 possible ways to allocate 5 pieces of content across 5 channels. Let's make the problem more complicated. I've got 15 pieces of content. How many ways can I allocate 15 pieces of content across 15 channels? Don't say 15 factorial. That's cheating. Okay, so over 1 trillion possible solutions. To expect a human to solve this problem, we are wasting our time. One rule to take away today, anything more than 7, don't use a human for. Here are 500 pieces of content to allocate to 500 channels. Can you tell me how many solutions? No, you can't. It's a big number. And just to put this number into context, this is how many atoms there are in the universe. Once you reach about 60 things you have to consider, whether it's 60 people to allocate to 60 pieces of work or 60 pieces of content to allocate to channels, there are more solutions than there are atoms in the universe. If you choose the wrong algorithm, it will solve this problem badly. If you choose the right algorithm, it will differentiate your business. I want to actually just drum this problem home. Slightly different context. Imagine you've got a delivery van, and your delivery van has to deliver packages around these 24 points. Humans are quite good at solving these spatial problems. After a few minutes, we'll draw a nice path around those points. Now, how long will it take a computer to get the shortest path? The one that's going to save the most amount of time, petrol, energy. How long will it take a computer to get the shortest path around those 24 points? Seconds? Somewhere between seconds and 20 billion years. If you put 24 factorial into your calculator, you get this number. This is how many solutions there are around these 24 points. If you had a computer that could check 1 million solutions a second, it would take 20 billion years to go through all of those and say, this one that I looked at 10 billion years ago, this one's the shortest one. If I had another point to the map, it becomes 25 times 20 billion years, 5,000 billion years. If I had another point to the map, it becomes 26 times 5,000 billion years. These are exponential problems. They get ugly very quickly. You have lots of them across your organizations. Most organizations do. They're most likely being solved by human beings very badly or by algorithms badly. The delta here is if you choose the wrong algorithm, it will literally take longer than the age of the universe. If you choose the right algorithm, it will take milliseconds. That's the opportunity cost. Okay, the final one is human augmentation. So a few years ago, to be talking about how we can use exoskeletons and cybernetics to make ourselves faster, better, stronger. One of the things that we're doing actually is with our employees, we create a digital twin of that employee. We create a large language model that's trained on their email, their calendar, their communications, their feedback. And we can ask that digital you, if I put you on this project, will you work well? If I put you on this team, will you thrive? Now, that might sound really creepy, but it's being embraced by those employees because they feel like their digital twin represents them better than 5 numbers in a HR database, and it really does. But what's exciting about this is that you're actually all building digital twins of your personal selves. You might have an AI on your phone, maybe Perplexity or Copilot. That is not a Copilot. It's not an assistant. It's a digital you.